All right, guys, so welcome to the video. Today, we are on video number 1800, the GL
1832. Or 33, what are these things?
What we on, Will?
I don't know.
So look, last video, you got to see this whole entire thing done. Everything was removed. And Will gave some really good bites on simple things to look for, how to look at things, even how to check these pinch bolts, about the ABS sensors, all these different stuff where it needs to be at, the things not to do, the things to do. Will.
Good morning. How we doing today, guys? We're gonna, what have we done? We tore the bike apart, we put our mounts on, we put our trike kit on, we adjusted the shock, we bled the brakes, we put our drive shaft in, we put our exhaust on, we put our gravel pan on, we did our complete power track front fork, reassembled everything, and now we're getting ready. I'm jacking it up. We're gonna take our wheels back off. And the reason I had the wheels on it was so the trike was stable to have the front jacked up to do the front end. So now we're gonna take the wheels back off. We're gonna prepare the body. We've got to install the radio and the antennas on the body, fit our side covers. And once we get our side covers modified and fit, then we're ready to drop the body on here, bolt it up, and buddy, we'll be shifting gears and doing stuff.
Yeah, and then will I be able to strap my baby up and go home?
Burning tires and shifting gears.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Load them up and get back home.
That's right, y'all know me already.
I don't want you here any longer than you gotta be here.
He's trying to kick me out. I'm leaving, Will, later, man.
See ya.
All right, guys, let's go.
All right, let's get to it.
You ready?
Yeah. So it's probably gonna take us about 45 minutes.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna open the trunk, 6 bolts. We're gonna remove this tour box mount. I gotta take it off in order to install the radio in this mount. Then we'll reinstall it. We'll silicone the holes, because any hole that's in a body is gonna leak.
Okay.
If you don't take that little extra bit and silicone seal everything, it's gonna leak. So we'll seal that up, and then we can fit our side covers and get the body on.
Excellent. Man, the space in this trunk is crazy. I like it. So the trunk just sits right on top of this?
Yeah, the trunk bolts on here in this 4 places. So
Wow.
my rack is drilled and tapped, just like the Honda rack was.
Right.
So I'm replacing this rack
Okay.
from Honda.
Yep.
I've just mimicked that, but my radio mounts to here where the radio mounted to the saddlebag frame.
Right.
Because every Goldwing has a radio,
Yeah.
but not every Goldwing has a tour box.
Right.
So the radio mounts to the saddlebag frame on my trike. The radio is going to mount to my tour box frame, so it's kind of a one
Right,
and
because
done
it's going to
piece.
go right here.
Yep. So I'm going to close this. We're going to take this off.
Nice.
Set this over on the table.
And the radio piece is
Grab
right
my
here.
radio. Yep. Grab that guy and our 4 bolts. So on a 25, they've majorly changed this radio. Unfortunately, this plastic cover that's not really sealing anything. It's basically letting water in the front and letting water out of the bottom, because these are drain holes. We're actually going to take this cover off in order to install it on our tour box mount. We're working on making a 2025 mount. I just don't have one yet. It's still too early to have everything made. You think, oh, it's 2025. They knew we changed the radio. Why can't you just do that in production? I'm telling you, I had no idea how much goes into making a dumb little change. How many parts do you have in inventory? It's a lot more goes into it than everybody thinks.
People only see the finishing product. They don't see the work in between.
Just change it, Will. I'm trying to. Margot. Why is the floor's all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. Not as easy as you think. We're just having fun.
Oh, you have to have fun.
not-
What's the
we're not-
point of freaking life if you can't
We're
have
not
fun?
being serious. We're just having fun. People.
You know, this day and age, you don't even have to explain to people about fun because they don't get it. The ones who don't get it.
Yep.
It's like, go ahead, buddy. There goes the door. It says exit.
Yeah. Exit stage right. Mm-hmm. Get out of here. So I got to take this other antenna off.
Nice. So it has there's two antennas. Or is it the same connection?
I would like to be smart enough to tell you what that is.
Yeah.
So on every 18 plus Goldwing, there is 2 Bluetooth antennas.
Right.
There's a Bluetooth antenna right here in the fairing, and there's a Bluetooth antenna in the saddlebag. This 2025 has a Bluetooth there, has a Bluetooth there,
Yep.
and it has this here. I'm not positive what this is. Is there a third Bluetooth antenna? Is this the Wi-Fi antenna? Do I understand that this bike has Wi-Fi? I'm not sure.
But I did hear though that these 2025s, there's a button you press and it opens up a Bluetooth wing.
A Bluetooth what?
Wing. And the wings come out on the bike.
Whatever. If you say so.
Will, you're like,
wings.
what?
I want to learn. What are you talking
Never told
about?
me about this. What?
Yeah. I'm supposed to know that. I'm supposed to be the expert
You're supposed
here.
to be the pro.
OEM Honda bolts. Perfectly good for holding the radio in. Okay, let's tighten those up. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So now I'm going to fit my rear trunk pan. Got my 3 little fingers here that plugged into the plastic that held your key. Well, I've got my 3 little holes in here that this is going to plug into. And right now it fits perfect. I got a little more gap here than I have here. So I'd like to move it to the right, but it won't because my slots aren't just perfect. So I'm going to make those a little bit bigger. It's a lot easier to do it now than when the body's on. I'm just going to file this open a little bit. And now more gap
More
here,
gap, yep.
less gap there. So now I can get that centered.
Yes.
So now I just talked about silicone in these holes. These holes lead directly into my storage area. These 3 holes are kind of up in this horseshoe, which is mimicked after the top of your saddlebags. This area we know always has these slots for those 3 fingers. If I had a gold wing with a cap, I've got to grind 4 holes here for grommets, so that cap will plug into these to that area, because that's how it does on the Honda. But we've actually put another layer of fiberglass under this horseshoe to seal it so that if water gets in there, yes, water can get into this little small area, and I hope it just dries after a while and goes away, but at least it can't get into your trike body.
Right.
So yes, it is open, but it's sealed. It's like a little void that's sealed together.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna seal this and then put the radio back on. So I'm gonna go around the hole and then a dot in the threads.
Is that like a marine sealant?
Yep, 100% silicone.
Beautiful.
That's it. So of course, in this, knowing that this flat area in there is gonna hold the whole weight of the tour box and your passenger pushing on that, we've made that like triple strength. So there's a layer of fiberglass, a layer of what we call core mat, and then another layer of fiberglass. If you shine up in this wheel well, you shine up in here, you'll see this white panel. That's actually core mat as well. if you don't put that core mat in there, so our trike body in the wheel well is 3 layers, outer layer, core mat, and then an inner layer. That's to help from stone chips coming through. And in the old days, nobody used that core mat. And you'd get spider cracks coming from the inside out in your paint and your gel coat from rock chips. And it's like, oh, your bodies are crap because they're spider web. It's not. It's because you drove in gravel, you got gravel stuck in your tire, and then it got flung out and it hit the body. So now we put that core mat in there just to make everything stronger and better. And we've used that for the tour box. Harleys, we do the same thing. We bolt the tour box right to the top of the body. So we put that extra core mat in there just for strength.
Love that sound.
Yeah, tight.
Yes.
This is a part number of an A01, which is in fact a Bluetooth antenna, because that's what they've always been, is an A01. And I noticed that this one was not. This one is a M01.
Oh, the one that we spoke about.
Yeah. This is a 39213. This is a 39212. So this is doing different stuff. I don't know what kind of different stuff,
But it's not the same.
but it's not the same. So it must not be a Bluetooth antenna. Both the front and the rear are the same on this bike. They have the same length cord and everything.
Right, and it doesn't have GPS, so it's definitely not GPS.
Yeah, the GPS antenna is tiny. It's like
Right.
It's like that size.
Right.
It's much smaller. I'm gonna stick him right there. And then the other one, I'm gonna get some tape and stick him on the other side. It might be one of those, I think it's a Wi-Fi antenna.
Oh, Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi. I got good Wi-Fi.
It might be
I
that,
got
though.
Wi-Fi on a motorcycle.
it might
but
be that.
It's very possible.
What's Wi-Fi? I heard of Wi-Fi, but never heard of Wi-Fi. Oh, you got the whole, I love how you have that whole roll of that 3M tape.
Yeah, I don't mess around. This is the good VHB. This is the good stuff. They know how to make stuff stick.
And that's the radio antenna, right?
Radio antenna. You got it. This guy's gonna go right back here. Kind of vertically back here.
That's perfect.
And get stuck to the back of my horseshoe. I might needs to be a little more vertical. There we go. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit of silicone there just to hold it. I pity the guy that's gotta take it off
Good luck.
someday. Hopefully never.
And silicone could hold an earthquake together.
You got that right. I'm gonna feed these. This is my plug and play. I got a power wire for battery power. I've got an accessory plug. I've got my fender plug, so that's gonna go from my 2 saddlebag plugs into this to feed for my tail lights, turn signals, brake lights, power for my button, for my trunk release button that's wired up as if it's the left saddlebag button so that you can program your second fob or third fob, and then a ground effects plug, which we're not gonna put on this bike. So that's a little piece of information. A lot of dealerships call me like, hey guy, I need to program a second or third fob for my motorcycle. You gotta push the left saddlebag button in the fob programming process. So California Sidecar has programmed or wired our trunk release button as if it is the left saddlebag button so that you can program your fob. Another thing is you lost your fob, you need to do an emergency start. So you take out your key that's hidden wherever. Key fob battery is dead. You take your key, you open up the left saddlebag, you reach in there, you pull your emergency cable to open your right saddlebag because your motorcycle has to know that both saddlebags are open. You're the owner, you had a key. Now I'll let you start the emergency start process. My Trike doesn't have saddlebags, but I've wired my lid as if it is both saddlebags. So you take your emergency cable, you pull that, you open up my lid, telling the bike both saddlebags are open, so now I can start my emergency start process.
And that's the one you said runs up to where the battery is.
Yep, your battery is gonna be right here.
Yes.
So we're gonna zip tie this to the battery hold down. So this is just gonna kind of hang free. Every Trike has this emergency black cable raw silver cable with a loop crimped on the end. I'm gonna put all this stuff kind of up here. I am gonna run a tap through my powder coated, drilled and tapped holes that got powder coated, so I wanna make sure that my tour box bolts in there good.
Okay.
And I don't have to fight those bolts. I'm not tapping, I'm just cleaning. Just cleaning the powder coat out. There we go.
All right, guys, this is a great moment to just come in here really quick to remind you to reach out to California Sidecar whenever you need a Trikes built. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share with this whole entire series. A lot of work went into it. We need to get each video up to at least 20,000 views minimum. All right, now let the show continue, baby. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna close the lid, blow those little shavings off. I don't wanna wipe that, of course, because there's metal in there. Not much, but there might be some. All right, now we're gonna modify those side panels. Those side panels fit great on saddlebags, but they fit kind of goofy on a trike. This side panel has got this extra little lip that fits into the saddlebag, and the saddlebag lid actually closes and covers this piece up. This looks like trash. It's very mechanical, not finished nice looking. And I want this side panel to slide in and look nice on my trike, but it doesn't. So I'm actually gonna remove all this material and keep just this flat surface here. That flat surface marries against here. I'm gonna super glue a grommet onto the Honda peg that goes into this fork, and that's gonna actually hold it in place here. And then it uses the 2 grommets in the front on the Honda shelter. Charlie, you look away while I do this. Just wait till it's finished. Don't watch the process. Once I'm done, you'll never know I cut it. I promise. Okay, all done with the saw.
Beautiful.
Now we got to make it look good, because that looks like trash. And I've definitely seen some not great modified side panels. So I want to completely get rid of this extra lip and just leave the flat surface. So I'm going to get rid of all of this now. Okay, so this is my flat surface is basically the only thing left there. I've gotten rid of the angled part. I got to touch this guy up here, clean that up just a little bit, but I've got my basic form with my coarse sanding disc. Take the powder coat off these are the saddlebag, the threaded holes where the top of the saddlebag was bolted. Perfect holes for putting ground bolts in. I should explain, I've already done a little bit of wiring in this bike off camera. So all of our DCT trikes have a DCT TPMS module. What this module does is my gear ratio is just slightly off from Honda, unfortunately. So it doesn't love to shift perfect. This module tricks the ABS sensor into thinking that it does have the same gear ratio, so it makes the bike shift as it should. This also tells the motorcycle that I have no rear ABS sensor, and it kills the TPMS warning light on the dash. It tells the real time rear wheel speed, rear TPMS that it's always at 0, but your front tire still works as normal. If your front tire's low, your low pressure light will come on. Your front tire real time will come up as normal, but the rear is always going to show 0. So I've got this module here that does that, and I've already pre-wired that into the ECM and the CAN bus. plug. But you can't, I'd like to think that you can't really see that I've wired into that. Also, I've already hooked up my reverse light wire. So this wire plugs into my TCM, into my gear position sensor, and I'm going to wire that up to my trike body to turn on. When I'm in walk mode, it turns my reverse lights on. That's what this little module is going to do. Get that out of the way. So I'm going to plug this guy in to there. I'm going to move him out of the way for just a second because I like to put this in a certain place. He likes to live right here. This is going to one of the connectors on the trike body, and I'm going to put an external ground right there. This guy's going to live right there. I'm trying to get up to my saddlebag plug. That's where I'm headed. There we go. Okay. I'm going to grab the antenna ground. Remember on the first video, we took that antenna ground off the saddlebag subframe. So I'm going to reuse that antenna, the AM/FM antenna ground and the Honda bolt. I've already filed the paint off of the frame. And I'm going to put these two grounds right there in the side.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to grab a random, I guess that's an 8. This is probably from the brake line off of the swing arm. Utilize that guy over here on this side for my battery power and ground. So instead of, I don't love running a bunch of stuff to the battery. You got to run some stuff to the battery, but I don't have to run the grounds to the battery. So I'm going to run that ground to the motorcycle frame. If I had a distribution block, if I had a battery tender, put all those grounds up here. So the motorcycle battery ground is the only thing on the battery. I got to run my power right to the battery on the positive. Can't get away from that.
All right, so even the distribution blocks you say in the ground
Yeah,
up there
I run
too.
all the grounds up here to the frame. If I got a Gold Strike distribution block, if I've got like a trailer isolator that always has external ground, I run everything up to the frame. Okay. Frame, I feel like frame ground is as good or better than a battery ground. This is my little jumper that's going to go between the Honda saddlebag plugs, and then this plugs right into my body. So I'm going to plug this guy in to the saddlebag plug. And then I've got to connect this random blue, this is my blue wire from the reverse module going into the trike body to trigger it. So I'm going to connect that right now. We'll cut and shrink tube that. I've already got this nice crimp, and then I'm going to heat this up, and this will actually shrink and seal.
One of my favorite pieces.
One last thing I'm going to do is, remember the sensor? This is your remote fob sensor that was on the back fender. This is my license plate light. We don't have a license plate light. We don't need a license plate light. And leaving a connector in this area that's not plugged into something, somebody's going to find that and think, oh, geez, these guys did a bad install. They forgot to plug something in. Where does this go? So I'm actually going to eliminate that plug. So I'm going to try to do it as nice as I can. I'm going to open up this shielding, go up to where the power and ground hook to a little block in here. So here, whenever you see blue tape, that's something that Honda did as a splice. There's two grounds coming in and only one going out. We're just going to cut right at that. So I'm going to cut that ground right at the end of that blue. I'm going to cut the brown, which is running lights, just a little bit shorter. I'm going to untape this, and then we can get rid of this running light plug. So I'm not going to worry about my ground. My ground wire is just a ground wire. I'm going to tape up my tail light wire, running light wire. Brown white is always running on a Honda. Green is ground if we didn't know that. And we're gonna stuff him inside this sheathing, just like it was. And only you guys will know this.
But nobody else.
Nobody else will know. They'll never know.
They'll never know.
They'll never know.
Guys, don't forget, this is a secret.
For your eyes only. This film must be
Disintegrated.
no, what is it? Self-destructed.
Oh, like Mission Impossible?
Yeah. This tape must be self-destruct in 10 seconds. There, nice and clean. We're gonna pick this body straight up off the cart. We're gonna walk straight over here. We're basically gonna go straight down, maybe a little bit low in the front. This guy needs to sit just in front of that cutout. Ready?
Yep.
Up. Okay, straight down. Looking good. Looking good, yep.
Good on this side. Really good on this side.
Done. Call Charlie.
Bro.
He can come pick it up.
Hey, Charlie, come get your bike.
That's a lot of gold.
That's a lot of gold. Gloves in here, right?
Yep. So now I want to get all my wiring fairly straight before I get too far. Once it's in place, it just kind of takes some of my room away.
Right.
So I want to use that room to my advantage right now. Going right there. So now I'm going to just match up. I got a yellow and I got a black. And there's actually little fingers on here that won't allow that to get plugged in.
Right.
So you just got to find
Where it
the yellow
goes.
guys, yep.
And that's what's that, brown?
Yep. This is a black one.
That's
That's a black. I think that went through the. So here's all these guys. Plugging stuff in. Boring. Okay. I'm sure that I will end up getting everything plugged in, and then I'll probably unplug and replug stuff in just to make it look much nicer, because I don't love how everything is plugged in right now. But the white stuff I remember was for my USB in the saddlebag. I'm plugged in enough stuff to put my tour box on, because I got to plug in a wire on each side of there. And then we're going to get our seat handles on and get the body adjusted.
I got this.
Okay. And just set it in place. That's it, right there. Yep, that's good. So these little silver spacers do fall out sometimes.
Okay.
It just goes up underneath.
Okay.
But I think I lost one or two up here. Two of them. Hiding.
Man, looking at this thing together right now, I know it's not bolted down yet, but wow.
So you saw how easy these popped off. We'll see how easy they pop back on. Sometimes they go right on there nice. Make sure everything's lined up nice. And then a little pop and a little pop here. Yeah, that's nice. We got our one way up here in the front. Four screws left. Charlie Brown has taken the backrest pad off. So I'm not going to bother putting those four screws back in. We'll just include them in the trike when we're done. I'm going to tighten up the four bolts that hold the tour box down, and the tour box will be done. Looks good, feels good. Woo! So Honda did a great job of everything on these bikes. They actually made the wire harness from a 17 to an 18 7 or 9 pounds lighter on an 18. I feel strongly that part of doing that is they made every connection just long enough to connect to everything else. No extra wires, no extra nothing. We've actually always had customers, can I move my tour box back? Can you move it back? We need a little bit more room. We're gold wingers, we're a little bit bigger. We live to ride. Live to ride,
Ride to live.
Ride to eat to ride to eat. You know, GWRRA used to stand for Gold Wing Road Restaurant Reviewers Association or the Gain Weight Road Riders Association. So everybody's looking for more room. So we actually move our tour box back 1.5 inches, which makes my wire harness 1.5 inches shorter than it should be, and it just reaches. Right now I've got my trike body back a little far, and I can't plug my wire harnesses in, so I'm gonna have to pull it ahead where it needs to be before I can get the tour box bolted up. So let's get that back up here. I can plug in my 2 plugs now, and I can get my seat handles on.
I'll just give you
Nice.
one. I don't know which side you want to work
Okay,
on.
yep. Oh, you're dropping my bolts.
Let's pick them up. There you go.
Yep,
Nice.
that's good enough for now. Okay, I need to get the spring off of the cable from the helmet lock.
I know I don't use it.
But we're gonna make it so you can still use it. I mean, I think the biggest reason is the original tour boxes weren't big enough for a helmet. A bagger didn't have a tour box to put a helmet in, so you have no place to put a helmet. So you're gonna they made this so you can use your back seat and put a helmet in this, you know, in the lock, and then just like set it on your back seat. So we hook the cable back up. And this is my cable coming out of the trike body, the CSC cable. So this rib on the trike body actually fits up in here, so I can't get that lined up, so I gotta move my body just a little bit.
To make that adjustment.
Yep, I'm actually using these seat handles
To hold it.
and to help me align up this body. That's part of my alignment process, is these seat handles. Ow. Oh, we're talking about the helmet lock. So in your trike body, once your door is open, I've got a cable just kind of hanging out here. I pull that, and that releases my helmet lock. So here's your helmet lock button. We release the cable. That button pops out.
Yep.
You've all got this thing in your saddlebag that nobody knows how it works or what it's for. It's just a neat little Honda thing. There's a peg here. It goes in a hole. You put this in the metal D-ring of your helmet. You put that through here. You push this down in here, and that lever locks this T. So my helmet's locked onto this T. Nobody can get my helmet out until I pull that cable and release the T that's releasing your helmet. Now everybody knows. You can tell everybody that. That doesn't need to be a secret.
All right, guys, share that part.
Share it with everybody. Okay.
Nobody else has to know, though. You guys remember how this looked in the previous videos? How this was packed with all types of parts? Well, those parts, it's now emptying out.
They're almost back on the bike. I'm going to install this little black bracket on your motorcycle. This is held in there with a bolt, the little Allen bolt, and then a bolt in the front, and then there's 2 plastic clips into the front of your saddlebag. Well, the saddlebags are gone, so I'm going to bolt this to my crash bar bolt, or crash bar mount, and it's going to line right up with there, and I provide you with a bracket and a nut and then a bolt to go in here to bolt the back of your passenger floorboard undercover to this little tab, because that tab was gone when I took the saddlebag off. And this is going to bolt up to this upper saddle or crash bar hole.
Oh, okay. Let's see
Okay.
it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to take this off. That's the little cable router for the preload line. Get rid of that guy. Okay. So in here, that little black bracket that I just put on, now I'm ready to put that in the back hole of that undercover.
Mm-hmm. Right there, guys. That's the one we just put in.
Snug everything up. Okay. On to the other side. All right, so I can see right now, I need to adjust the front of the body down. My exhaust cutout is actually hitting the floorboard, and I have a ton of room here on my cutout. So I know I need to come down. So before I even put the side panel on, there's not enough room between this cover and my body because I'm so high. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust these both sides down. The other side, when I flipped it down, it's pretty close as well. So I'm going to actually lower this bracket because the other side is holding it now. And when I loosen the other side, the whole body will fall. So just watch that side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Loosen this, there it come down.
Yep.
Is that enough? Yeah.
It cleared it a lot.
Okay. That's got clearance. This is plenty. I could actually come down a little, and there's just a little gap. So I'm good enough with that. I can always final adjust that once I drill my hole, bolt it up, and then I can loosen this, manipulate the body a little bit, and tighten that up. Oh, I've got clearance on my floorboard, and I've got clearance on my chrome. So now I'm sure I have enough room for my side panel. Let's see. So I stick this bottom part in there first. Line up the grommet. Get him put in. He's going to push in. Snap that. Snap that. Now I can see I've got a nice little gap here between my black piece and my silver piece, but it's super tight in the back. That means I need to, that little black bracket that I just put on with the gold bolt, I need to rotate that black bracket down and pull this silver cover down to get a nice gap on both sides. I'm going to adjust the little bracket with my little hammer. So I'm just going to tap that down. Now I have a nice even gap front
Big
to
difference.
back. That's all you need. Same on the other side.
Big difference.
This is really nice. I'm not going to move that at all. I got a nice even gap already. I lucked out, guys. So that one's good. I got good gap here, but I'm actually sitting on my chrome. And you're like, oh man, how are you gonna change that? So I'm gonna lift this trike back up, lift it up, and I'm gonna adjust that chrome down. So we're gonna loosen up that exhaust clamp on my bracket. You really can't see. That's loose enough. I can actually kind of rotate that down.
Nice. Yes.
So now I have the similar gap. When I tighten those up, when I put the heat shield on and I tighten those up, you can't tell where you need to be or don't need to be. So you gotta adjust it. Now I've got the same amount of gap on
Huge difference.
both guys. Yeah,
Big difference.
perfect. So that's looking really good, guys. Now I've got, basically the only thing we did was one quick adjustment of up and down in the front. Obviously we have front to back, which we're gonna use the side panels to line that up. We have left to right. This is gonna kind of tell me where I need to be on my exhaust cutout. The body fitment on my passenger seat handles, I'm gonna make this rib in the center of the groove of this. You can see there's kind of a V in my seat handle. I'm gonna make this rib of my body, which is the upper lip of a saddlebag. We've mimicked that. So that's centered in the front. We're gonna center it in the back with the exhaust tips. We're gonna do a left to right off of the rotors, just to make sure that the whole body is left to right, which if my exhaust is good and my seat handles are good, the rotor's gotta be good. So this is a little too far forward. And we're just gonna make little taps, left or right. So what's it look like back here? This is too tight, and that's not too bad, but I definitely need to go towards the left a little bit to make these gaps better. I just gotta I tell everybody, don't make a big adjustment, make a lot of little adjustments. Don't get impatient. This is the most, everything that we've done for the last week on all the other videos, none of that mechanic stuff matters. This is the only thing that anybody sees. Adjusting this body. Man, your exhaust tip looks jacked in this hole. Man, your side panels look terrible. Your heat shields don't line up with this. You got to spend your time adjusting this body. Fitting a body is an art form. You got to make everything look good. You can't make everything perfect, but you can make a lot of stuff look really good, and that's what we're doing. We're going to make everything look as good as we can, adjusting the side panels, the passenger floorboards, the heat shields, the seat handles, the exhaust tips. You got a lot of stuff to look at, and we're going to look at it many times before we drill holes and bolt this thing down. We're not going to rush. We're going to go slow and easy. Them side panels are looking really good. So I'm going to lower this down so I can see from the top. I want to see the frame gap and seat handle gap from the top. So I've got pre-drilled holes in the back of the trike, because if we walk over for 1 second and look at our suspension getting ready to go in a crate to go to a dealer. So I've got a couple different stages here. I've got a trike kit that's ready to go to a dealer. I've got a suspension sitting in the 2x4s, strapped down, screwed down to the blocks, wheels on, suspension fully assembled, ready to go. Then I'm going to set the body on, and when we set the body on, we use those back 2 bolts where their pre-drilled holes are, and we physically bolt that body to the suspension only in the back. We've got these brackets adjusted all the way up to take up the slack when I'm tightening up the bolts, it really forces the body, so the body's not shaking around on the suspension. We've got those pre-drilled holes. They're really shipping holes, but they usually work out for us for install. We've tried to put them in the right spot so we can use them for shipping and for install. So we're going to get those bolts in those back holes, those pre-drilled holes. And if we look here, I'll show you that. So I've got a pre-drilled hole. My body frame down there is actually got a locking nut welded to it. So I can see I'm almost lined up, and I'm very much lined up. So if I tap the body over just a little bit, I'll be able to line
Yeah, a
those
little bit
bolts
what,
up.
towards the left, right?
Yeah. We'll see. Nope, it's going to go. So I've got the body where I want it to be, and my bolts line up and thread into the lock nut. So those are in there. I'm not going to do anything yet. When I know that my body is where I want it, I'm going to take one bolt out, silicone around there, put the bolt in, tighten it up, look at everything again, take the other bolt out, silicone it, put the bolt back in, tighten it up, look at everything, then we'll drill the front 2 holes. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've got right now. My exhaust tips are looking pretty good. They're slightly only adjustable. As I tighten them up, I can manipulate them a little bit, but they're pretty set in stone with the way that the mufflers mount and the way that the tips slide on. There's not too much adjustment, so I got to make the body fit those tips. Now I'm coming up here on top, and I'm making sure that the outside of this rib is lining up with that groove in my seat handle. So if I look right there, I can see that that's lined up pretty centered. And then we go over here, and that's also, maybe the angle's a little weird, but it looks good to me. Yeah, they're right there.
I'll take this off.
Yep, they're right there.
Right, so you're looking.
Yep, I'm looking at the gold paint coming up into the groove of that seat handle.
Yep.
It's looking really good, left and right.
Look good to me too.
Yeah. That feels really nice. Okay, we're gonna tighten up some bolts. So I'm gonna remove this one. And I definitely have a little bit too big of a hole, just for a little bit of adjustment wise. So we're gonna fill that hole with silicone. And then kind of put a little bit around the outside. That's it.
That ain't going nowhere.
That ain't going nowhere. And it's sealed. Okay, then I'm going to put a little silicone on top to help seal or glue the carpet back down. I don't want it coming loose and looking bad.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, we're going to close this up. I'm going to raise it up a little ways. We're going to look at everything again. I'm not going to go too far yet because I want to look up here again. That looks great. That looks great. Those side covers look good. Just for kicks, we're going to do our left to right on here. So I put a carpenter square on my rotor, and I measure, and I'm at a short 4.5, and I'm at a long 4.5. So it's a tiny bit off. It's probably less than 1/8 of an inch, left to right. That means it's less than a 1/16 of an inch
I was gonna say.
on each side.
Yeah.
That's pretty stinking good.
I was gonna say less than a 16th.
Yeah, that's pretty stinking good. So I'm digging that. We're gonna go all the way up.
Yeah, this is about the same. I mean, right now.
Yeah, this one is perfect.
Yeah.
This one's just a tiny
little
bit tighter.
I mean, a small
But
amount.
I can actually, I'm gonna put my pry bar in there and pry out a little bit as I tighten it up.
Yeah.
And then it'll stay. That's
I mean,
all it's gonna need.
when I say a small amount, I mean
Yeah.
a small amount.
Yep. Looking really good.
And like you said too in the beginning, when you put them on, you're not gonna tighten them up all the way because you're gonna make some.
Yeah, they're
some
still loose.
small
They still
adjustments.
move a little bit.
Absolutely.
They'll still move a little bit.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me on video number 5. Will is doing a phenomenal job. We're going to end it right here because, as you know, it's a whole lot of detail work. But don't forget to tune in for video 6, where you get to see the rims go on and we do all the final touchdowns and everything else that takes place to completing the build of Charlie Brown's Trike. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, watch the videos over and over again. Learn all the nuggets you can. And remember, when you want a trike, reach out to California Sidecar and tell them that Sensei sent you. All right, I'm out of here.